but set in, like, Franciscan times, and you have to, like, root out heresy and solve murders and things without all of the science and technology and actual forensic advancements. I think you could get a good game concept out of that. But then I'm not a game developer, so what do I know? I just feel like I know better than most game developers most of the time. You guys have that same problem? I certainly do. Backtracking back through here, because now we can get into the old tower. Which, of course, the old tower is Anthony's old stomping grounds. Uh-oh. This probably isn't good. Bone Thief happened. Let's enchant up my mace. And listen very carefully, because when weapons have a Mantarok enchantment on them, they roar when you swing them. And it's very, very satisfying. Oh, I hit a pew. Get the Bone Thief. He's dead. I do enjoy that roar. Like, Mantarok is a lion at heart. Good stuff. My pool ran out again. What have we here? It's the shield spell scroll. Oh, well, I already know that spell. So, this coffin is still laying here. What is this, 400 years later? Let's put pool back up. And also still laying here many hundreds of years later. Believe it or not, they just left him here in this room. And he's just been... I guess reanimating and re-dying over and over and over all this time. But you can see Anthony is wielding the two-edged sword that he had in his chapter. He would not have had that, because remember, you only get that weapon if you rescue the monk in Anthony's chapter. If you don't, he doesn't get that sword. He ends with the Scramasax. Scramasax is a little better than the mace. But it's still better to get the two-edged sword, both because Luther can use it, and then if Luther gets it, it's once again found later in the game for the next poor sap that has to play around in Oubliette Cathedral. And I feel bad bashing Anthony's head in repeatedly, but, like, Luther didn't know Anthony. He just saw him as a desecrated corpse that came to life. But Anthony is one of the gathering of light, and his task is now Luther's. Luther has to succeed where Anthony has failed. We don't get to finish him on Anthony. It doesn't allow that, which kind of makes sense. But now I've got a two-edged sword, which is delightful. And oh, door's over here, Brickroad. Now, when Anthony went upstairs, he found a circle of power and some other stuff. What's Luther going to find? Luther will find... Oh! A Bone Thief! Did I get him? I guess I got him. It sounded like I hit that wall right there, this bookshelf. But, okay, well, whatever. We're going to find a sheet of music, which has convenient lettered notes for us, because that's how music works in, what is this, the 1300s? And the next diary page. Brother Andrew's diary, page 2. Suppose it is understandable that they will not show me the hand of Jude on such little notice, but I must confess that the preparations they make are most unusual. No acts of consecration, no daily prayer or worship are demonstrated by this strange order. One wonders if they are holy at all, let alone being under the auspices of the Grand Inquisition. Perhaps it is my naivety of our faith. There are many practices associated with it, and they differ greatly from region to region. Perhaps Amiens is merely more eccentric than others. Or perhaps the Hand of Jude is a fake, and you should have read your book before writing in your diary. I imagine going around looking at holy relics for Franciscan monks back in the day was a bit like Like, you know, they have these like roller coaster chasers, these people that travel around the country just riding roller coasters, these thrill seekers from place to place. That's kind of how I feel that Holy Relics must have been back in the day. There's a piano over here, and I've got sheet music. And every adventure game with puzzles, by definition, by law, must have a piano puzzle. So, A, B, Y, X, B, Y, A. Ooh. So Anthony found a 3-point circle of power, which allows us to make spells with 3 runes, which we've been doing. An alignment rune, a verb rune, and a noun rune. Paul Luther finds the 5-point circle of power. The tabernacle is almost empty. There are none of the things that should be here, such as holy water or other ritualistic items. Only a circle of power. So now I can make 5-point spells. A 5-point spell is a 3-point spell with 2 power runes embedded in it. Unfortunately, we don't yet have a power rune. We're not quite that far into the chapter yet. I thought those were the stairs, but no, the stairs are back here. Okay. Make sure these trappers didn't come back. I don't hear them. This all seems to be in order. Now that we have all 3 of the gems, we can go ahead and... Oops, wrong button. Place the ruby. Place the sapphire. This section here should really just be one giant button that says something, something obvious thing. And down we go. Let's go ahead and re-up some spells here, because I actually don't know what monsters are on the other side of the door. Get our roaring sword happening. You gotta make sure you're doing overhand slices in these narrow hallways, because if you try to swing laterally, this sword loves getting caught on walls. Man, Luther's only fought a couple of monsters, and his sanity's already way down there. Maybe that's why they give him a meditation rod. Maybe there is a reason, a method to the madness of this game. You've got a rune in you. Nope, nope, nope. Too many guys. Too many guys. Oh, you know what? I think I probably missed a torch somewhere. I feel like you should have a torch for this room. I got a shield spell, so... No, but I didn't see the one guy still alive there. Oh, I had enough shield that his attack didn't hit me, and... I guess we'll just keep the shield re-up then. Yeah, I did notice there was one guy still standing there beating on me, but I guess with shield it's pretty safe. Also, if you remember the bust of Brother Luther, for that is indeed who it is, in the Roivus mansion, well, here it is. This is where it comes from. There's a bust of Brother Luther here in the basement. And now that we have the Pargon rune, we can make a new spell. We can take a 5-point rune with any alignment, with Summon and Creature, and 2 power runes to make Spell 8. And Spell 8, right here, whereas if we have Summon Trapper is a 3-point spell, this is a 5-point spell. It's Summon Zombie, and we will actually be using that a little later. 5-point spells are more powerful. What they tend to do is increase the duration of magics. A 5-point enchant item increases the damage done a little bit, but the cost in magic is so immense and that I tend to just stick to the 3 points. Let's let these guys duke it out. We don't need to step in yet. I guess now we do. Oh, my sword ran out. Sorry, we'll get him in the bag. And take his crossbow bolts. I guess they were fighting over these crossbow bolts. Those are the best crossbow bolts in the place. I picked up a lot, but now we finally have the best ones. And what have we here? An effigy of a monk reclining on a sacrificial altar. A deep groove bisects its chest. The monk's face looks almost exactly like the custodian. The inscription reads, "Only when thy friend is sacrificed, when his cries fill the air, will the great doors be open to thee." I mentioned that Brother Luther was going to commit 2 terrible crimes in this chapter, unprovoked. At first, he stole that emerald for no reason. So, you see where this is going, unfortunately. Let's keep taking down... These are just mana rock zombies. There must be a torch in this chapter, and I just didn't pick it up somewhere. Yeah, we're sitting at about half sanity here. Alright, alright. But all this area is territory that Anthony uncovered. And now, okay, we've got some red Zambos here. But our two-handed magical roaring sword makes short work of them. Oh, they do 2 damage, though. We got him. Oh, he died. Okay, good. Looks like he died from the Manta Rock room, actually, which is good. Is there anything to do in here? No, I don't think so. I think we just pushed the back shelf out of the way. Luther doesn't need to solve a puzzle to get in the secret entrance back here. Free up shield. Lay down. You too. These guys go down quick with the Manta Rock room. It looks like just one hit taking their head off, put them on the ground. Maybe I didn't need a torch. Of course, most of the sections of the cathedral in this chapter are pretty well lit, so maybe there's not a torch, and it's just there's candles and torch sconces already everywhere. And here in the secret room is diary page 3, and also the Paragon Codex, teaching you how to use 5-point spells, which we will be doing in this chapter a little later. With a shudder, my heart has turned to ice. I came to the brutal realization that the entire order were heretics, and that I was in incredible jeopardy. Who knows how long they had kept their dark secret, masquerading as custodians of the Hand of Jude, when in fact they guarded a damnable relic, the essence of the unholy Chaturga, and used it to lure potential victims to their hideous sacrifice. I felt sick, and despite my faith, I felt intense fear and hopelessness. I know that I must escape this place before they suspect my knowledge. I must warn the world and notify the real Inquisition of their presence. Knowing death is just around the corner and fearing every moment, I commit these words to paper. Augustine will find this book. I will remove certain pages and hide them, so that all who may follow might discover the truth before it is too late. I mean, they weren't really well hidden, but... So we've accomplished our task. We found Brother Andrew's journal. And so we were like, maybe there's heresy here? And the guy's like, but we need proof. We need to find out actual proof of heresy here. But the proof is just a piece of paper with some guy saying, maybe there's heresy here? So... Whoa, which door did I come in? Oh, this door. Right here. Yeah. This is correct. But now we gotta go all the way back up to the bell tower and tell the custodian what we find. So there is quite a lot of backy-backy-tracky-tracky in this chapter. And sometimes just finding the doors can be an interesting exercise. Considering that the camera angles in this game, they're functional. They're better than a lot of cameras in a lot of horror kind of games from this era. Shoutouts to Blau Major for sponsoring this video, and to everybody who helps make my channel possible by supporting me on Patreon.
What?